One of the greatest inventions of our era has been the computer and the internet, but very few of us can state exactly who created them. Walter Isaacson's book, The Innovators, redefines innovation, making it more than just a buzzword that we hear being repeated. The Innovators weaves together a story of hackers, geniuses, and geeks that created the digital revolution. The book highlights many innovators that contributed to this, but there are some that stood out a little more than others. One of the first individuals we meet in this book is Ada, Countess of Lovelace, daughter of English poet Lord Byron. Ada had a great passion for poetry, but her mother always pushed for her to study mathematics. She developed a passion for technology and machines that led her to find inspiration from the courses she was taking from math wizard Charles Babbage's. Around 1842 to 1843, Lovelace obtained Babbage's difference engine, which was nothing more than a contraption that could make complicated mechanical calculations. This actually led to the pioneering of computer programming. About 100 years later, Ada and Babbage's idea came together when four key components helped define the modern computer. In about 1945, J. Presper Eckert and John Malkley put together the electronics components, switches, advanced circuits, to create their ENIAC, which was the first of its kind to incorporate all the elements, making it completely electronic as well as fast, and able to perform up to about 5,000 addition and subtractions computations in a second. The history of the ENIAC is actually really neat, also. It's very rich in women's history, which is critical and often forgotten. It was one of the first creations of its time to train women for programming positions. A great example that the notion of innovation rarely comes from a sole inventor, but from many minds working together. In the 1960s, MIT hackers created the video game Space War that gave individuals the opportunity to handle a computer and respond to commands. Video games heavily influenced the production of the personal computer, but Nolan Bushnell turned video games into an industry that we know today. He created the console for the game Space War, naming it Computer Space, and then went off and founded Atari, creating the iconic Pong. The 60s also introduced the big names that we know today, such as Jobs and Wozniak, the dynamic duo. Their idea of the Apple computer actually stemmed from the Altair 8800, which was actually the invention of Ed Roberts during a meeting at the Homebrew Computer Club, where Jobs and Wozniak caught a glimpse and were able to put their attributes together of hacking and technology with vision and capitalism to later produce the Macintosh 1. Lastly, the internet, which was pretty much simultaneously born with the computer. It was an initial spark from Congress establishing the National Science Foundation in efforts to bring together the best from diverse fields to engage in research partnership to ensure military and economic security. But it wasn't until about mid 1970s when Tim Berners-Lee, the only singular talent in this book, created the World Wide Web. The internet came to be because of the modem that allowed personal computers to reach global networks through phone lines. Personally, I don't feel that this book created in me the urgency to go invent the next big thing, but it did provide a clear definition on what it means to be an innovator. It reinstates what we've been covering so far this semester. Innovation isn't solely a random garage project. Innovation can be taking an existing product, tool, or service and evolving it to something much greater, perhaps making it more user-friendly or enhancing its features. The innovators that I reflected on today and those others in the text are great innovators because of their ability to design empathetically. And if anything, I almost feel, kind of bad for those that were used as building blocks and receive little recognition for what they did. But, as the book states, innovation is gathering ideas from many places and reflecting on how to make it better, being able to work collaboratively when necessary, and understanding your own strengths and weaknesses. We may not all go on to invent the latest and greatest product, but we can be innovative in our careers so we're able to do more and work less for the simple fact that we all deserve to live an optimal lifestyle. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it.